This episode is brought to you by Audible. Hey, Audible is the world's leading provider of audiobooks with over 150,000 titles on their site.
That's
Isn't that amazing?
lot.
And you and I both love audiobooks. You can even listen to these audiobooks on your favorite device, any device, because their whisper sync technology lets you switch devices and save your bookmarks.
I do it on my iPad. I mean, I listen to it. I don't do it on my
Ooh,
iPad.
girl.
I listen to Audible. It's on my iPad. And we got this little audiobook for how to speak Italian. So we just kind of pass it around the kids because we're supposed to go to Italy.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
Now, if you order a title from them and decide early on that it's not for you, you can give them a call and they will let you swap it out for another book, free of charge.
Where else are you going to do that?
There's nowhere else you're going to do
Exactly.
that. Get a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial by going to audiblepodcast.com/RuPaul.
Bam.
Hey, it's Ru and Michelle. RuPaul What's the Tea featuring Michelle Visage. We've got a fantastic show planned today.
Very excited. We've got the boys up in here today.
Yeah, the pit crew from RuPaul's Drag Race. You know them as the pit crew. We know them as Miles Davis Moody and Jason Carter.
Yes.
They're beautiful, beautiful guys, you know.
And fun and sweet, actually. They actually have personalities that I'm not sure that people know exist.
Yeah,
you know?
Most people know them as the gorgeous guys in the Speedos on the show, and they are really gorgeous, but they are also very interesting people. And I want to ask him about being objectified. You know, they are, they're not in their 20s.
No.
But they still look great.
And they're pieces of meat. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I want to know about that kind of stuff. Because, I've been doing this for a long time. And, yeah, the way I look is a big part of my business and my thing. I know it's the same for you. How, you've been in the business for a long time. How has that played into your career? Obviously not in radio. It doesn't work.
Right. Thank God.
Right.
Because that's where got pregnant and had my babies.
Yeah.
I think it's what you make of it. I never really liked the objectification thing when feminists over the years would try to say that girls that do Playboy or whatever. For me, I feel like anybody who does that knows what they're getting into. If a girl is posing for Playboy and chooses that route in life, then God bless her, let her do it.
I agree, but we've seen the stories, that movie Star 80 and Dorothy Stratton.
You've seen
the stories.
That's exploitation. There's a difference. Dorothy Stratton, we're going to get into it, wasn't really sure of what she was doing and didn't really want.
A very young girl.
And she didn't want to do it. This day and age, I think everybody that goes into it does it with stars in their eyes and wants to do it. She was forced to do it by her boyfriend / Svengali at the time, right?
Yeah.
So that's a different story. But objectification, I think, is relative to what you're talking about. Right. I've never felt objectified. And I've put my body out there for years, in seduction and everything. And I was always, naked on the album covers and in the videos. For me, I knew that it was a fleeting moment. I knew that I'm only going to be 20, 21, 22 once. So I used my body for whatever I could use it for at that time. And I didn't care. And I never got any negative feedback about it, really. I didn't feel objectified. I didn't feel taken advantage of. And everything I did, I consciously did.
Right.
On my own.
Well, it'd be interesting to ask these guys, especially, they're not 21 and they've made the choice to be the pit crew and to, walk around the studio.
Look good.
And they look good. Walk around the studio basically naked.
Yeah.
Basically naked.
I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
But you were in all those videos.
That was then. I couldn't do it now.
Yeah.
Because I'm older, but they're older too.
Yeah.
They're not, just like you said. I think they're in their 30s. So for me, maybe in my 30s, I don't know. I don't know if I could. The older you get, the more it either goes one or the other way. You either become a little more demure or you become more of a showman because you never did that when you were younger.
Well, tell me this. Would it be different? Had you, if you had children back when you were 21, do you think it would be different for you back then?
Probably not. And it's got nothing to do with body image, overweight, underweight, just fine, whatever. I think your mentality at 21 is different than it is at 41 or even 31, even 25. When I turned 26, it was the year that I literally went, oh my God, I'm an adult. So I think your what you're thinking of and your mental perception of what's going on is completely different at 21.
Yeah.
So I don't think babies had anything to do with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get the guys in here and
can't wait.
talk to them.
Let's do it.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Get started with a free trial at squarespace.com with no credit card required. When you're ready to purchase a plan, get 10% off with offer code RU. That's squarespace.com, offer code RU. Okay, we got an extra special treat today.
It's hot up in her.
That's her. We have the pit crew.
Yay!
Yes.
Hey.
Miles Davis Moody and Jason. Your last name is Carter?
Really, Rue?
Just like the Peels.
Yeah.
Has it been 5 years?
Yes, and you forgot my name.
As in Nell.
As in
As in Nell Carter.
Not Beyonce.
God rest her soul. Rest her soul. Rest in peace, Nell Carter.
Give me a break.
Now, so you've been on RuPaul's Drag Race as a pit crew member for 5 years?
Well, 5 seasons, including All Stars, and then 3, 4.
See, you're requiring me to do mathematics.
How
that I
about he
can't do.
started season 3?
Started season 3.
Okay, well that makes
where
sense.
Shangela hopped out the box and said, "Hallelujah."
Oh, okay. And then Miles, what season did you start on?
I did a guest spot on season 5 for the What You Packin' challenge, and then season 6.
So you started on season 6.
He's just a newbie.
Full time.
But he's been a friend of RPDR for a while, though.
Right.
RPDR.
You've been in the ethosphere. That's what you call it?
Well, what does it take? How did you find out about this gig? Who contacted you?
Actually, it was really cool. I was teaching a dance class, and
you mean a dance?
The dance in Hollywood, and one of the producers took the class and was like, "Hey, they're looking for models for this show."
I would like to know which producer takes a dance class.
He's no longer with us. But and he's like, we're looking for models for this show. I can't tell you what it is, but it's and I was like, what kind of casting couch situation? But for like 3 months straight, pursued me, kept asking me to send him pictures and stuff, and then I did and came in for an interview.
What kind of pictures was he pursuing you for?
Model shots and stuff. And then so I got a call.
Dick pics.
Right. No dick pics, but like a little off the shoulder action. But what was funny was the final day he emailed me, was like, listen, you need to come in today because you just need to come in. I was off that day and I was like, I ain't doing nothing, let me go. So I show up at World of Wonder and they're like, so we want you to dance in underwear. I was like, yep, casting couch situation, I'm leaving. And he was like, I'm a professional dancer. He's like, we want you to be a go-go boy. I was like, excuse me, go-go boy? And then I got a call from some dude named Frank saying, hey, are you available for season 3?
That's amazing.
Wow. And now, what about you? Now, of course, you were familiar with the show before.
Of course, big fan. Yeah.
So, and Miles, so you came in on season 6. Had you been pursued before season 6?
Yes. I always found myself around World of Wonder people. Like the first year I moved here, James St. James came to a Summer Tramp party and got me on film, and I was part of that whole thing. And
where'd you move from, sweetie?
New York City.
All right.
Oh, that's that place on the East Coast,
I think
isn't
I've heard of it.
I've heard of
It's
it.
got a green lady in the water.
Yeah.
Awesome pizza.
Then I was at another party called Tranny Shack.
Beep. Girl Shack.
Beep. Shack. And
I went to a party at the Shack. Girl.
and Damiana Garcia was there. So I felt like I had a World of Wonder angels surrounding me.
Right.
And then I ended up doing season 5. They got in touch with me to do the Andrew Christian What You Packin' Challenge.
Right.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. And then I came back for the finale and did that for season 5 when we
What
all
happens in the
bum
finale?
rushed the stage and shook our moneymakers.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Was it a peanut butter moment? Was it
Yeah, it was a peanut butter moment. Yeah.
That's right. Oh,
It was the peanut butter moment.
peanut butter moment. But we did the peanut butter the same
And then,
episode.
yes.
You guys yanked us backstage. And then I get a call from Theron and asked me to do
At World of Wonder.
At World of Wonder.
Right.
And asking me to do the Lick It Lollipop video.
Oh, yes. Remember it well. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we all got to see you a gazillion times over in That Boy is the Bottom.
Oh, but you were also in a shout out. I
was
met
the
you with
bottom.
shout out at Chick-fil-A though too. Remember?
That's right, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
it was like this cosmic universe thing inching us together.
Yeah. No, it was Bashert. It was meant to be,
Yeah.
And so you guys are on the show. You are the pit crew members, and I want to talk about being objectified. As a man. Now, obviously, you're both gorgeous men, and I'm
Thank
sure
you.
this. How early in your life, Jason, did people start saying, "Hey, I want to take pictures of you," or "Let me see what you got, what you
know what? Honestly, Ru, I was, believe it or not, I have a twin brother, and he was in.
What?
Yeah, I have a twin, and so
because Miles has a twin also.
I know. See,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Spooky.
Are they
Fraternal.
identical
No,
for both?
I'm
real
fraternal. He's
twin.
identical.
I have a real twin.
Is your
real
identical twin straight or gay?
He's straight.
So is mine.
Married.
Well, you
2
can
kids.
send him over my way.
Okay.
I'm married too, so it negates.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So both your twins, you both have twin
Right.
brothers, and
Yeah.
both of your twin brothers are straight.
Yeah, very.
Oh, that's
very,
so
very straight.
crazy
Yeah.
when that happens. Can I just sidebar this by
Yes.
saying, for all the haters and the ridiculous people out there that say that you're not born this way and that it's subcultural, whatever,
There you go.
it's so obvious, especially in these situations,
Yeah.
that you are born a gay person.
Right. Yeah.
This is not something
Yeah.
that comes
I
from a
chose to be
cultural
that.
subculture or
Right.
you're choosing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
in your spirit.
Right.
Of course.
Because
It's
some
in your
people,
blood.
they'll come to me and they're like, "Oh, you're identical. Then why isn't he gay too?" And I said, "It transcends that. It's more in your spirit."
Of course, it's
Those
within.
people are ignorant.
But I also
It's deep within.
find the two twins that are gay. I feel like sometimes, and I've seen this where one of them's playing the part, but not
What do
really.
you mean?
Yeah, because okay.
By the way, two twins is redundant. Just say
Sorry,
twins.
my bad, Michelle. No, that one of them, like I have a pair of twins back from Albuquerque, New Mexico. That one of them's like bona fide, full out gay, and the other one's like, well, I'm still dabbling with it, trying. I'm like, well, either you don't dabble with it, either you're into it, or like I knew I liked men.
Right,
There was
right.
no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but so
Maybe some butts.
Right. Well, did you dabble with witchcraft? You don't dabble with somebody's
Right.
butt, do you?
right. No.
No, you don't. Well,
it could be foreplay.
That's true. That
Some
is
people,
true.
they're into
a
that.
little dabble, do you?
When I was 24, I was in a bad relationship, and my ex was like, "You're ugly. You're this and that." So, but there's a silver lining because it prompted me to do something about how I felt about myself because I was like, "Why am I letting these persons?"
Were you this scrawny kid?
Yeah.
Or, I see. I
'Cause my
see.
older brother was in the army, my dad's in the army, so it's all these things growing up. So I started working out, and then people started taking notes, like, "Oh my God, you're in good shape. You're tall." So I started modeling when I was 24.
24.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 34 now.
34.
Good
So
for you
the-
for turning a frown upside
Yeah.
down.
So for the past 10 years,
Yeah.
you have used your body to advance your career.
Yeah, and I was a dancer as well too, so it came with the territory. But I mean, one of the things that your question was about being objectified as an African American male, especially in this industry. There is a huge stereotype about what a black man is supposed to look like. We're supposed to be savage and be like 6-pack and rah, and it's
Yes, please.
Yeah, she's like, it's on the menu. I'll order that. But so after a while, especially in the LGBTQ community,
Yeah.
there's just all these ideals of how you're supposed to be as a black man. And
What
sometimes,
about in the BLT community?
well, I mean, I don't eat bacon, so
That's a little different. That's
yeah.
all
So it's a different
different.
story.
I've
Oh,
been
okay.
vegan for 20 years. So no, just kidding. No, I'm not. But yeah. So it's sometimes it's hard
Yeah.
to be objectified, and also when you're on a show like this.
Sometimes it is hard.
Well, but is there a discussion you have to have, an inner discussion that says, don't take any of this seriously? They're giving me all these cat
Right,
calls,
right.
but it's not
For
really
sure.
about.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'd never read the comments.
Yeah.
And you after a while being in this industry, you develop a really thick skin, and you realize that you're here professionally. You're here to do a job that it doesn't transcend. It has nothing to do with me.
But isn't it acting in a sense?
Of
You
course.
know what it is you're doing. You know you're not stupid. You
Right.
work out for a reason. It's not
Yeah.
just to get laid.
Right. It's good for your mind. It's good for
Well, you're also using it in
Right.
your career.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's your
sure.
calling card.
There you go.
So what about you, Miles? You're both such beautiful men.
you, Ru. Thank
but
you.
have you ever? What's the inner dialogue that you have when people are sort of giving you all the cat calls, like
Well-
me on the set?
Like I do to Miles on Twitter daily.
Yeah.
I kind of grew into this position. Like I didn't grow up the cute boy or like being fawned over for my looks. My older brothers were the hot ones. So it wasn't something I quickly identified with, but over the years I felt pretty good about my face, but I never really banked on it.
Did you grow up in New York City?
I was born there till I was 6, or lived there till I was 6. And
Where were you
then
raised?
I grew up in St. Paul,
Minnesota. Because you're
Oh,
this
yeah.
beautiful mixed man, and I feel like in New York City they would have eaten him up. Like he's like
People approach me about modeling, but I always felt it was the sketchy people that just wanted
Yeah.
your money, so I really didn't do it. My twin brother did it earlier, and it was funny because he got signed with this these two guys. They were gay, and he asked me to go on a go-see with him, and we got the job. Went to the modeling agency, and they were doing our makeup, and the guy was like beating my face, and he was like, "So, you want to model?" And I was like, trying to give him a slow no. I was like, and he leans in, he goes, "Lose weight, then we'll talk."
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
I think he was jealous and he just wanted to hurt you.
Really? That's a true story.
Yeah, that is a
Ray-Ban.
true story.
Wait a minute. So your brother got the job, and you went along.
I
as a
went along
model?
with him because they wanted twins.
I see. Right.
So, and we got the job. So
Right.
when we got the job, they were doing our makeup.
Were you
to
that
send us
much
to set.
heavier than your brother?
No, not really. And the funny thing is, I was usually the skinnier one, but I must have put on, I don't know, like 5 pounds. I was
Right.
still, I wasn't
5
fat
whole
at all.
pounds?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever do the swap out thing that
We
twins
did,
do?
yeah.
What is that?
You know, like when one
Not in
twin.
a
Oh
nasty
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Well, one's
But
gay,
at
one's
work,
straight here. So for a date situation, that wouldn't probably be a good idea.
Right.
But
No.
like in any, with teachers or friends.
We did it at work. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
Did
and
you?
they
Did it work?
It worked, and we didn't even have on the same clothes. It was, it was like you guys are really easy.
That's the fun of being an identical twin.
Are you older than him by how many
no,
minutes?
I'm younger.
Oh, got it.
5 whole minutes.
Yeah. So you went on this, and the guy told you you're too fat.
Basically, yes.
And
so many
what
words.
how did you process that information?
I knew that he was being dumb, so I really didn't. I laughed at it.
It didn't
'cause-
affect you. How
yeah.
old were you?
23.
Was this in Minneapolis?
Minneapolis. I was on an escapade.
Stupid.
But just circling back to your original question, because I got into like this kind of beauty industry and looks industry late, I had already developed a really good sense of self. So I try to take it with a grain of salt, and I appreciate the love. It's all good. The only kind of weird thing is that when you're objectified that way, people kind of see you as one note, and they don't expect you to be smart,
Right.
or
But
they don't think you can go beyond your looks.
But I want to say that goes across the board for everything.
Oh,
it's
for
not
sure,
just
yeah.
beauty, because let's say in the business, for example, somebody is, that person is an MC or a host, so that person can never be an actor.
Right.
And actors will never be looked at as people that can speak on their own, and vice versa. So that's across the board, not just...
Yeah. Well, especially in Hollywood, when,
Totally.
when you're
In this
placed into a
industry.
box. Yeah.
Well, we spend a lot of time on Twitter and on the blogs letting people know that the Pit Crew does more than just stand in our underwear on TV. And people, we travel
You
a lot.
do?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yes, Michelle.
2 + 2 = Jello.
But because what a lot of what the public, from aside from the show, like me and Miles and the rest of the Pit Crew, we have other endeavors and other enterprises. That, like, I'm a host. I do a lot of on camera talent stuff all the time. I travel around doing live events. So people, but because they don't see that, you have to spoon feed people stuff.
Of course.
And so they think, Twitter is like the most, I would say, aggressive place for people to say things, because people get real brave behind a keyboard.
Yeah, they do.
They go
Yes.
in.
And YouTube.
YouTube,
And
Facebook,
anything.
anything online,
anything,
and it's mind blowing that people don't have the wherewithal to think, maybe they do have personality, maybe they do have this.
No, honey, they do have the wherewithal. These people are choosing,
Right, it's a
because
choice.
of their own issues,
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
to do
It's-
that. They
it's
know very
projection.
well
Right.
that you're talented, and that's where it's coming from.
Right, you're absolutely right, Michelle, and that's a
Yeah.
really perfect point, because it threatens people when a person has more. They want to put you in a box because they feel more comfortable with you in that box.
Correct. Yeah.
And they would have to really examine themselves if they saw you for everything that you
Right.
are.
Yeah.
Right.
Now
They know.
on this show, you guys have speaking parts from time to time.
We
You played
do.
Tuckahoe.
Yes.
Tuckahoe.
Yeah.
Did someone say nuts? I've got a huge stack right here. People still, believe it or not, people still hit me up on Facebook, like quoting that.
That's
I
hilarious.
was with Latrice Royale for El Paso Pride a couple of weeks ago, and we did the whole scene all over
Did you
again.
recreate
Yeah, it was
it?
amazing.
Oh.
It was amazing.
Get
stage?
those
Yeah, no,
nuts.
not on stage, not on stage. I couldn't get it on camera because I was trying to put it on YouTube too, because people, that's like infamous for
You
Drag
should have
Race.
done it on
Stuck
stage.
in Tuckahoe. But that was great. That was season 4. That was awesome. Yeah,
Have you spoken on?
I didn't
on-
get any speaking.
You haven't, but you guys both did something for Snatch Game where you presented it like the
Yeah.
like
Yes.
the
Like the
the
award?
beauties on
Yeah. Vanna White.
Vanna
Right.
White and those guys, And you could see the personality that you guys have, and you add a little extra something to it.
And we did see
We
them on the
added a wink.
O-Pit crew. The
That's
little,
right.
Yes.
They have their own
We're crazy.
Little
web
web
series
series.
Yeah, we're
called
crazy.
O Pit Crew.
And we showed their personalities in that and their
Sure.
acting skills.
The thing about Drag Race and the whole this entity that it is, it's fun. It's colorful. It's
family,
it's
too.
alive. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
for sure. It's alive, and I all the different elements come together to make one awesome project. One awesome product, and it's just as each season gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the magic just keeps unfolding.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I always let people know, because they always ask me, "What's it like on set?" and blah blah blah, and doing it. And I just tell them, like, every day is a blessing, and every day is a new experience and something. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, I want to ask you about what it's like on set, but I want to go back a little bit. You said that you travel and you do gay prides and things like that. How long have you been doing that? Did that come immediately after the first season you were on?
No, believe it or not, after the thing is, a lot of people didn't know how to get in contact with me, and when you're a new face on a show, they're like, "Oh, okay, that's someone." They didn't get to know me, so like I said, I was a host before. I traveled doing live events and radio and whatnot, and so as I met people, being out and about, and one of the things that a lot of fans are shocked is that we're nice. That's when I always hear, "God, you're so down to earth," and you're like, "Well, why wouldn't I be? Like, it's cool." Like, and so you just get to meet people and then make connections. And what's really awesome about traveling is the connections you make with the audience. For us, we come to work, we do our job, and we go home, we have the experience. But to the fans and the people watching the show, it's like they're meeting Michael Jackson. The pictures and some of the messages they tell you, like, "You've changed my life," or your smile is, every time I watch the show, your smile just makes me so happy. There's all these things.
And imagine how it was for Michael Jackson.
It might be
Imagine.
more like meeting Tito.
But he's
if we're being or Jermaine.
Jermaine.
that's a thrill. That's a
But
thrill.
Miles, you travel a lot too. I mean, you're very popular in the LGBT community. Like, what are some of your experiences?
I've been welcomed and loved, like, from people I wouldn't expect, like, all over the world. I'm shocked when they even know who I am.
Do you travel also with doing appearances?
They want me to go to Dubai.
What?
But
Be careful.
I know.
Oh, he might not
they
come
want me
back.
to go alone, but everybody's like, "Don't go
I'm
alone."
sure you
I'll
heard the
go
detox
with you.
stories.
We can go to Dubai, Miles.
But for what kind of a gig? Hosting?
Yeah,
There's
hosting, just appearance. Yeah.
A whole bunch of
Showing
gays.
up.
There's a huge gay community over there, but it's so repressed.
Right.
Yeah.
And so dangerous. Just the wrong move can end up.
Yeah.
But there's so much love for the show in Dubai, and so much love for the gays in general.
South Africa, the tweets we get from all over the world, people literally have to. They will go through to the ends of the world to watch the show online. And
Wow.
Like, it took me 5 hours to download the show, but I finally saw it. I'm like, 5. Wow, you were committed.
Yeah.
So now, if people are finding you, how do people find you?
On Twitter,
Yeah.
social media is
Instagram.
What's your address?
My Twitter is at JJC Forever, and then on
At JJ like on Good Times.
like
Dynamite.
Jason J Carter, yeah, JJC Forever.
Wait a minute, say that again slower. I'm not getting it. It's J what?
JJC. My name is Jason Jameson Carter, so
Right.
JJC Forever.
You can just be
Oh.
Jason forever.
No, I tried that.
Taken.
So it's at JJC Forever,
Yes,
spelled
ma'am.
out forever. The word
forever.
forever.
Not Eva with the 4. Real hood. No, it's forever.
Okay.
Phonetically.
And then what's your Miles? What's your handle?
I keeps it simple for the drags. Rue.
Okay.
At Miles Davis Moody.
But his name is so unique, really.
It
Well,
is.
did your mother name you Miles Davis
She
after
did.
Miles?
Yeah,
Davis?
she
brothers in the
she
same
she used to go to the same gym with him.
Really?
Yeah, she actually told him that she named me after him. He didn't believe
Miles Davis
her.
went to the gym.
Yeah, I know, right?
In what city are we talking?
New York City. Yeah, and he didn't believe her, but there was a journalist over from Europe doing a story on my mom because she was an interesting character. She was a boxer. She was
What?
an artist. She was a singer in the village, folk singer in the village.
How
so
amazing.
so she was doing an article separately on both people. So the journalist confirmed it to Miles Davis that they named me after him.
That's
What's
But
pretty
your
awesome.
brother's name?
Marcus Garvey Moody.
Oh, you have a black centric thing going
Oh,
on.
I have a brother named Malcolm X. My sister's name
You're
is
lying, right?
His middle name is X.
His sister's name is Oprah.
No, my
His name
sister's
is not Malcolm X.
It is.
Swear to
And-
God.
Swear to God.
Hand to
And,
Jesus.
hand
Hand
to-
to
which one?
Jesus.
Which hand?
Pick one. The one that's not occupied.
And my
what's your
sister's
sister-
name after Maya Angelou.
Sally Struthers
Really?
Davis.
And that
Moody.
And
Arthur Moody.
no, it's all M's. All M's.
What is
Oh, it's
she?
all-
I almost ended up Mahatma because they didn't know that my mom was having twins. So
Yeah.
they had to
Oh.
come up with a name on the.
Oh, so your sister
fly.
was Maya Angelou?
Yeah. Well, they changed it to Angela. I don't know.
Maya
Angela. I love
That's a
that.
real good drag name.
That
Maya
is amazing. Wait, is
Angela?
your mother the black one or is
Yes, my mom's.
Because you're mixed race.
Yes.
Yes.
My dad's
You're biracial. You're Mariah Carey.
And then my other brother Mao, they went Chinese on.
Wait one
Wait,
minute.
hold the phone.
You have a brother named Mao. How many of y'all is it?
There's 6. My oldest brother, he has a separate father. My mom was in a Puerto Rican phase, so his name is Chico Pedro Fernandez del Rio Coleman.
Oh my goodness! I want to meet your mother.
I do too.
Is she still with us?
Yeah, she's still with
By the
us.
way,
Yeah.
Mao is not the loved one. He's the one that's in the attic. Nobody ever visits poor Mao.
Don't
Poor
say that
Mao.
because my sister used to tease him that he was adopted. Because
my-
he's the only one that came out with brown eyes.
Oh, because you have blue eyes.
Yeah.
That
Real
is
talk,
so
when I met
crazy.
Miles, I was like, your name is not Miles Davis Moody. Get the F out of here. What kind of porn name is that?
I love that's brilliant.
Trumpet
now,
porn.
Yeah,
guys,
his mother's a star.
I can talk to you guys forever. We've got a break now, but will you guys come back and
Of
talk to us
course,
again
yes.
sometime?
Yeah,
Super
That would be
fun.
great
For
because
sure.
I have so many questions to
Wow.
ask. I mean, I do want to talk about the objectification thing because obviously Michelle and I could speak a thing or two about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But before we talk about objectification, let's take a minute to talk about Audible, the world's leading provider of audiobooks with over 150,000 titles on their site.
You'll never be bored.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. I love audiobooks.
Me too.
Now you can even listen to your favorite audiobooks on any device. Their Whisper Sync technology lets you switch devices and save your bookmarks.
So what that means is if I'm listening to my iPad and I want to switch to my phone, it's going to pick up where I left off on my iPad.
It's brilliant.
Love that.
Totally brilliant. Now, if you order a title from them and decide early on that it's not for you, you can even call Audible and they will let you swap it out for another book free of charge.
Who else going to do that?
I don't know.
Ain't nobody going to do that.
Hey, get a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial by going to audiblepodcast.com/RuPaul.
That's audiblepodcast.com/RuPaul.
We're talking about the objectification. We are here with the pit crew.
Hey.
And, they're used to walking around the set with the skimpy underwear and all their bits and pieces hanging out.
Their tools.
Their tools. And it doesn't bother you. Doesn't bother you at all.
And, honestly, there are days where I feel I have fat days. Can I say that? Fat days?
course.
Oh, yeah, because, we're famous for having great bodies. And it's hard to always stay in shape and meet that demand for the fans and what people are used to seeing. So it's more, for me, it's not about being objectified. It's just about being to a standard that's acceptable for myself because I'm a perfectionist. And I want to make sure that I always put my best foot forward. And sometimes that best foot is hard.
So sometimes you have too much salt the night before.
Girl, McDonald's, what you In and Out. I don't eat
that
Chick-fil-A.
ain't even food.
It's so good.
Why you eating it,
Double quarter
Jason?
pounder with cheese is bomb.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I'm sure the same for you, Miles. I mean,
No, I don't mind it. I think it's fun and I think it's funny. The only thing that makes me laugh is when they call into question your manhood because they always say, "Are you stuffing?"
Right.
Well, that's
Like-
not a bad thing.
No, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad
But you
thing.
are not stuffing.
I am
are
not
you?
stuffing, for
and
the
neither
record.
are you.
No,
In
we-
fact, what we have to do is, you guys, we have to put something over it so
Right.
that
Yes.
you can't tell.
Season 4.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
season
So
4.
we can't tell what their religion.
The religion.
You can't tell the religion. Yes.
I mean, Rue, you remember season 4? It was like everywhere. It was just like
It was
you
dangling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then,
Dangling.
Andrew Christian definitely loved that. but
surprise.
it may have been inappropriate. I enjoy looking at a great package. I'm a package watcher.
Sure.
At the gym, best thing ever. When you're on a treadmill, why not package?
I'm a
watch?
package opener.
Exactly.
Yeah, a package opener.
Yes, I'm an opener. So what do you do? Do you put like a jock strap under your pant? What do you do to contain the madness?
Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah.
or just like
There's just like an insert
A
that just
smoother-
kind of smooths
smooths it
everything
over.
out.
Oh, they have them for girls
It's-
for camel toe too.
Yeah,
Right.
It's
It's
like a
not
little.
made
moose
for
knuckle.
enhancing your sides. It's
No,
just
it
made
just
for
smooths
TV,
it. Okay.
really.
Right.
So it gives
Yeah.
you GI Joe anatomy.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like Ken doll anatomy. Yeah.
Because when we talk about objectification, I know that you have an Instagram account that a lot of times if I want to go on Instagram, I'm going to see how Miles is doing.
Okay.
And I can figure out where he is in in the world was it? Because this motherfucker, he will take a picture of himself.
Yeah, he will.
King
Yes,
selfie.
Not
You
very
will
much
do-
either.
You will do selfies. You do a lot of selfies.
I do.
and you make no apologies about
I
it.
don't know why.
I enjoy them.
Yeah,
I enjoy them.
Why not? You know, you can't live your life for other people.
It's your life and you live it once, kiddo.
Yeah,
There you go.
And I'm not gonna let other people's opinion on what the selfie means define why I'm taking it. So
What
I'm gonna
does a
do
selfie
it.
mean to you?
It means I'm capturing a moment in time, and I'm putting an image forward that I want you to see.
And you feel like you look good. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah,
I know when I
of
do
course.
selfies, I go through 20 before I find the one that I like.
Yes, Virgo.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then I put
You
the
give
one
yourself
out there.
at least 50 frames
That's it.
Different
but then,
filters.
because you won the challenge.
if you're feeling good at that moment, you want to capture it.
Yeah, especially if you have
Amen.
that good lighting.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
you might even get 5 really good pictures.
Well,
Okay.
what I don't understand about the selfie, why people have issues with them, it's like, you follow me for me, so why do you have an issue with my selfie?
But
Yeah.
you're reading the comments, aren't you?
No, well, I have read one because I on my Instagram I
One.
post
Just
one.
the one.
Just one.
Okay, maybe
Just
one
one.
times 100, but I post a lot of music because I'm a big music fan, and music is so dear
What do
to
you mean
me.
you post music?
What I'm listening to at the moment. You know, people follow me actually on Twitter and online for my musical, like, they want to know what I'm listening to today or what
Okay.
fragrance I'm wearing. So, because music to me is so special and precious, I want to share that. So it could be like a throwback
disgusting.
song
Okay, good.
but people, it's like, it's your Instagram account, it's
Yeah.
your Facebook account. I'm going to post whatever the
Yeah.
F I want.
Exactly.
Unfollow me,
Amen.
block me. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Isn't it amazing how many people will go onto your following you
Yes.
and go, who are you anyway? I don't even know who you are.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
why you're ugly? Or it's like,
Yeah.
why are you even looking at me if I
Right.
discuss?
You
I know
found
when I
me.
discuss-
I'm not on your page.
If something
You
that
know,
hurts
it's
my
like-
eyes or
Right.
upsets me or I
But-
don't want to look at it, I don't look at it.
Right.
It really is just kind of indicative of the culture today that people will seek out negativity, and that's what they're putting forward.
Crazy.
Right.
It's really sad, but
Well, the sad thing is, and I was going to talk about this at a different part. We don't have to get into it deeply, but the sad thing is the kids today, because
Yeah.
I've got 12 and 14, they value their worth by the comments and the likes.
Oh, no.
I swear to God.
Oh,
and as
no.
much as you say as a parent,
Yeah.
you know, Lola will go, well, I only got 50 likes on that. It's like, honey, first of all, you're locked and you're private. I have to see every person who's allowed to follow her.
Yeah.
So there's that. You only have, 40 followers. How many likes do you
And you
expect to
get.
get? But they value their self-worth on that.
it's a new day and age for parenting and
Yes.
monitoring and making sure that your child's self-esteem is really high,
a
because
brutal
there's
gig,
so much
man.
coming at them now
Yes.
from
Mhm.
social
The
media
stimulus,
and
right.
TV. It's tough. So
Rue, how do you gauge your social media? Like how do you filter through all the people? I'm sure daily you get
He does
request after request after request. I
Yeah.
mean, you're drag.
Well, you know what?
superstar of the world.
I've been doing in the business for like a long time, 32 years, I think 32 years, and then and then even before that, I was as no Tino said, I was a standout kid. I was someone people always get, who's that? What's
Right.
that? Who's that?
Sure.
So I've always used to people pointing and at me or whatever. So what other people have to say about me, truly, is none of my damn business. So I carry that to this day, whether it's because if you like the good comments, you by default you also have to
Sure.
accept the bad
Right,
ones.
yeah, right.
It's the same side of the same other side of the same coin. you know?
I feel like when you post, you're a hit and run, though. I feel like this is what I feel.
Glass house.
I feel like Rue will post it and run. There's
Yeah.
no point in looking. He's posting it because he wants to share it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He don't care what you have to say about it.
No.
Am I
Right.
right?
And that's good.
You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. No,
That's awesome.
I do it because it's it's a way to interact with the fans and people. But sometimes I'll stick around for 5 minutes and look to see what's going on. But I will not comment on a negative thing. I
Good.
will only
Right.
comment on positive
Sure.
things because I know the person who's going to post some negative thing. It has nothing to do with me.
No. And
It's
you know
their
it's gonna
own
be there.
trip.
Yeah.
and
And
they're kind of
inevitably-
lying in wait for you to respond,
Right.
just
Of
so
course
they
they
can
are.
engage
Yeah.
you.
They're
Yeah.
waiting with their hand on the mouse.
Yeah.
Ready to pound.
Yeah.
I do think that social
I will
media,
block
though,
them.
Yeah.
I will
you should,
too.
You should be able to. I'm a firm believer in, because as a host and a journalist, you can ask the question, they don't have to respond, right?
Right.
I do believe that you should be able to say what you want, and be it negative or positive, whatever. If you're feeling yourself that day and that's what you put out, that's you. But I don't agree with people who want to judge whatever you say, though. I mean, okay, so I would never ever go on to social media and say something that's like really like far left, that's super offensive. But I may,
But it's still your social media if you wanted to.
But I do. You have to have a little discernment. I do think. But I was in Denver, and loved Denver, but I was treated poorly in Denver. And I tweeted about it because I could not believe that as a community, the LGBT community, we want to be loved and accepted and cared for. But yet within our community, we're ripping each other apart, saying, "Oh, he ain't got a six pack," or "He's this, he ain't black enough."
That's about them, though. Just like Ru was saying.
So what I'm saying is that you should be able to say whatever you want on your social media, but also we have to take the consequences that comes along with it. I think a lot of people don't do that.
And BT Dubs, when you block people, who do you think they come running to? Thank you.
Oh, really?
Oh my God! Why did Ru block me? I'm like, I am not his mother.
What happens when you block someone? What do they see?
Okay, so then they go to post and they're like, you can't because...
Oh, it says... What does it say?
Like, it'll say, if they go to post on you, you'll come up blocked.
Or this user does not follow you, or something like that.
Or won't accept...
It's not featuring you.
Is that... Exactly.
He who shall not be featured.
This user does not see you.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And they screen cap it and come to me.
Okay.
Like you're daddy and mommy.
Right.
You're welcome.
And you tell them, you had it coming.
Yeah.
You talked about objectification, and Miles, you hit the nail on the head. You turn it around to something positive, instead of it being like, oh my God, my body. Thank you for the kind words.
Right.
Thank you for thinking I'm someone beautiful, or, because in this day and age, there's so much negativity and not a lot of people are so afraid to give a compliment, or they're so afraid to. They're so afraid to connect with you because they don't want to be vulnerable. Right. But I would rather you be like, today I just had a horrible day. Well, what happened? And then that's that human relationship versus, and we all get this, especially in the gay community. Oh, he fine. I can talk to him.
What though? It's not just in the gay community. It's in the women community too. Because I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast before, but I was looking at Jessica Simpson and all the weight she lost. Did I talk about this? Stop me if I had. No. And when I went down the comments, I'll read somebody else's comments. They ain't gonna damage my soul. So I was looking at Jessica because I was never a fan. I've only become her fan in the past 5 years. I really love the woman that she's become.
She got those shoes.
I got quite a few pairs. But the point was the hatred from other women blew me away. Yes, it had to do with the women not being secure, and that this woman has a multimillionaire that she's made herself. It's unbelievable, and I see it with gay on gays too.
Right.
Oh, it's
not
the worst,
supporting each other,
It's
dogging each other.
Right.
Hatement.
We have got to get back to the roots, which is bringing us all together.
Well, that's an interesting point. What is that about? Obviously, you guys are we're all gorgeous people, and we're all successful in our and people are going to come for you. Yeah. What do you do with that? What when you go under the hood, Miles? What is that really about?
From their perspective,
yeah, because you light-skinned, and I'm sure you have blue
really
eyes. I'm sure people
people
have always said, "You think you better than us? You think
he wouldn't be shit without them eyes."
Oh, really? They said that?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Or you're not black, or you're not white. I've heard a lot of things, but I had amazing parents, so they gave me a great foundation. And I don't know. I think it's like a crabs in a barrel mentality where they see you climbing up, and instead of lifting you up, they want to pull you back down.
Right. But how do you specifically deal with that? Because you're out there. You're posting. You are out there, and you're here in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. You are the host of hosts. Mm-hmm. You host several nights all over town.
Yeah.
Craigslist.
It's been interesting. I'll have to. Michelle, that was a secret.
Dude, the tea was spilled. The shaded tea was spilled.
Oreo for you.
Yeah.
At Craigslist.com.
How do you deal with that?
I've had pretty good success in dealing with it just throughout the general course of my life, but through the past year being on Drag Race, I have felt a little more judgment and objectification just from little tiny things. Like I'll be on air for 2 seconds and they won't like the face that I'm making.
Silly. It's so silly.
Because I have a good sense of self, I sometimes I'll feel a certain way about it, but I'll only give myself a moment to really go through that and just circle back and say,
that's okay.
It is about them and it's not about me, because I know that I'm a good person. So I try not to let people shake that and take that from me. Person? Mostly. Yeah, I think so.
No, it's an honest question.
You don't know something. You
I mean, we all have our dark moments.
Yeah.
But
He's a Gemini.
I think I am a good person. Yeah. I think I mean well to other people. Like, I do give people compliments and I expect nothing back.
Okay, that's life. That's not doing something kind to people.
No,
that's
but,
life.
No, but a lot of people will say something just to get something back.
I think that's an LA thing.
Totes.
I don't think
do?
it's like that. Yeah, because around the world, some people are just nice because they're nice. You go down south, people are just nice.
They say good morning
kind,
just for the hell of
that's
it.
lovely,
true.
You know?
But maybe because I guess I may be thinking of like LA,
You're in
New
the
York.
LA.
Also,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard for people to give that up without feeling vulnerable, like Jason was saying.
Right.
But I don't poison anyone.
Yeah, no.
I don't send people anthrax anymore.
Yes.
Not since the therapy and those 2 lobotomies.
Yes. Full frontal.
Full front.
Now, I want to talk now. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm going to.
16.
I want to talk
Lies.
about
Jason said he was 34.
I'm 34. I'll be 35 in September.
exit strategies. I'm 50 friggin' 3 years old.
Don't tell it.
I don't know.
If you put it out there, it's true.
No, it's in Wiki. It's in everything. I don't know.
Because Wiki's the end all be all.
It is. I don't know how long. I didn't know I'd be doing this long. Who knew? Who knew?
Right.
I want to ask you two guys, who your bodies are what people know you for and being gorgeous. Do you have an exit strategy? How long do you think you're going to do this?
Well, honestly, I'll do as long as you keep having me back, girl. I'm just gonna
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yes,
Hallelujah, said the
Praise,
ladies.
baby Jesus.
Rue, exit strategy. I think your life is a journey, and I know for me that it's not so much an exit strategy, just a plan. Like Drag Race. Drag Race is just a part of who I am and everything else I do as far as personality and what I want out of life. And I think that 10 years from now, well, maybe I will. Black don't crack, so I might look this way forever. Just kidding.
Well, unless there's a glass pipe involved.
Right.
No, I didn't say that.
Right.
I didn't say that.
Too
No,
soon,
is it
Rue.
too
Show me the
soon?
receipts.
Is it too soon? Crack is whack.
Fucking on that glass.
Crack is whack.
It's not, but it's not an exit strategy. It's just you move on to the next stage. The next you write. Rue, I remember when I first met you and I asked you, and I read your book so many times, how the glamour is. It's just, I asked you, did you ever think now in this day that you would be doing this and be at the Met? And you said, yes, I knew I'd be doing, I always knew. And to me, that was so profound and so like, shut up. Like, how was someone that sure of themselves? And it got me to thinking like, okay, after this is done, what's next for me? And I think that you just evolve into something else. You grow in you grow into another wonderful being. So it's not an exit strategy. It's
If
just
you're lucky enough to see it.
right, and that's the
the
vision
key.
exactly.
Well, the universe has stage directions. And a lot of people cannot hear the stage direction because they have their own idea of what the play is going to be about.
Right.
But a lot of times that shifts and changes. And I think that's been a secret. I know with Michelle, because this girl has morphed and reinvented herself so many times, even more times than I have. But it takes being able to listen to the stage direction that the universe has for you.
Yeah.
Now
That's the hardest
you're
part.
also, you use your body. You've been modeling for a long time. What did you come out to Los Angeles to do?
To be a star.
To be a star.
A movie star.
Damn it, you're a star.
Wait, that's from our video.
Yeah.
To be an actor or...
It's funny. I hadn't thought about it really that closely for a long time because my beginnings have always been in the office. But I remember I just had this thought the other
What do you
day.
mean in the office? Like as a 9-to-5er?
Yeah, 9-to-5er. Yeah. Prior to LA, I didn't do really much in the entertainment industry.
What did you do?
Or field. I worked in advertising, and then I worked in human resources.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Ooh.
in marketing.
Da, da, da.
But I have a 5-year exit strategy plan because I'm 14, but my years are numbered.
They're dog ears.
Yeah. My exit plan is called coitus interruptus. I'm going to hit my rhythm.
That's funny. I know that.
I'm going to hit my rhythm and then pull out.
I have a daughter named Just the Tip. Don't do that.
Just the tip.
I got 2 kids by the head.
Unless you have those really heavy, leakers.
No, but I do look to you, Rue, and Michelle, and people with careers like you, where you're in the spotlight, and then you take a moment and kind of reassess, and then something, plan for something else and make that happen. Because I think we do always need to step away and kind of reconfigure what we're doing. Yeah.
And you were talking to one of the queens one season where you said, I'm not going to lie to you, for some mother truck and drag show, for some television show.
It was Laganja.
Right. And Rue, in that instant, did it become, there was some magic in those words, because like I said, Drag Race is festive. It's like Skittles, Taste the Rainbow, all these like glitter and everything, but you became so relatable and so accessible that it was like, she straight said, listen, this is not this serious. All this, what we're doing today, is not that serious, And so you always have to keep that in mind in this industry, because things are so fleeting and transient, and people say, yeah, they promise you things that don't come to fruition. And also your talent's always under attack. How you look is always under attack. Yeah. Everything, nothing is ever. You're trying to grab onto something that's solid when it's just mush all the time. So you have to realize that it's the exit strategy is it's here today, gone tomorrow, and you have to be okay with that.
Right. Well, I think that honestly, knowing thyself, and I think this has always been the case, whether it's the age of social media or 50, 20, whatever years ago, it's know thyself. Now, with you two, I see you guys working this storyline, the Pit Crew storyline, in nightclubs and making the cash out of it, making money out of the brand of it, and then moving on to something else. It depends on what the consumer is willing to do. Because, somebody is turning 18 every single day. Right. I get people on Twitter who say, I didn't know you were in movies. I didn't know you sang. I didn't know. I only know you from this. It's like, So that tells you that there's always someone you can market yourself to.
Right.
Now, I know that you guys have done records on the CoverGirls album.
So good.
And then you guys have something coming up on the next CoverGirls album. Yes. I think you guys should tour and do nightclubs and put the boy band together.
That'd be fantastic.
It would be fantastic.
How cute would that be?
It would be fun. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
And you sell your merchandise. You morph that brand into a website or into merchandise. A website that talks about how to get your body together, how to be a gorgeous man over 30. Yeah. So you market to who the consumer is. That's what you do.
It's wide open.
And it's just like this podcast. We started with a Squarespace website, and everything changed. That's how the whole thing started. Just tell them about the Squarespace.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people don't know that they can email us at RuPaulPodcast@gmail.com, and we've got one right here from Spencer, and he says, "Hi, Ru and Michelle. Hello from down under."
Oh, good. How you going?
In Melbourne.
How you going, Spencer?
I love it. Is Melbourne? That's Kath and Kim, isn't it? Melbourne.
I think they're Melbourne. Yeah.
Franklin Light. No, that's New Jersey.
No, it's
Fountain Light.
Fountain Light.
I was about to do it in a Belfast accent. That's different. Anyway, thanks for the great podcast. He said he just wanted to write us and let us know about his new Squarespace site. He put it together recently called Spenceroni.com, like tenderoni.
Tenderoni.
Like only Spenceroni.
I love that.
Because his name is probably Spencer. Thank you. He said, so for about the last 2 years, he was running his own design business with a friend of his, got really into it and realized he didn't really enjoy it that much. So about 2 months ago, he discovered RuPaul when a friend got him into watching Drag Race, and he said he can't tell you how much you've impacted his life. Listening to interviews with you, hearing about your philosophy on life and work, he realized something had to change. It was time to make a big change, so he left the businesses that he built with his business partner, finally launched off to pursue his love of illustration and art. He couldn't afford a custom website, but he says luckily he had Squarespace, so he could quickly get up, a new website to start building his new career. Yeah. He said it was so damn easy, and he loves that he could even hack it with his little basic knowledge of code to add in some little bit of fun. He said, check out the Mexican wave icons at the bottom. He said he's also going to launch a store on it over the next few weeks, start selling prints and art that he's making over the coming months. And that's Spencer. So if you guys want to check out what Spencer did on his own, you can go to Spenceroni, Spencer with a C, Roni.com. And you guys out there can get a free trial with no credit card required, because that a lot of time turns people off.
Yeah.
You don't need one. You just go to squarespace.com. When you're blown away and you're ready to confirm a plan, use the offer code RU to get 10% off. We are telling you right now, don't do it without putting in RU. Why would you do it without getting a discount?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Why pay retail?
Exactly.
Crazy town. Anyway, you'll be getting a great deal and you'll be helping to get yourself off and running as well. So check it out, squarespace.com.
Ru, I agree with you on the branding too. And what's really cool is that, like my older brother, straight army dude, watches Drag Race religiously and can connect to the content. It's not because Drag Race is an iconic LGBT show. However, it transcends all sexual orientations and whatnot.
Of course, it's so much more than boys dressing like girls.
Exactly. And the pit crew, I have a lot of straight friends that are like, oh my God, the pit crew's so cool, like to do that, and branding. Nowadays, branding is everything, and people don't realize that. And I do think that Drag Race has done a fantastic job of branding each of the elements. I mean, that would be, me and Miles are talking about doing something with the pit crew and making it.
Miles and I.
Miles and I.
No, you should. You should. There's the new. Right. At this point, there's a song on the last album. There's a song on the next one. All you need is another song,
and you
can perform.
Yeah.
And you can perform.
Yes.
And
Take the
by
show
the
on the
way,
road.
through the advancements of Janet Jackson and Britney, you don't actually have to sing if you don't want to.
As long as I'm in the middle.
Right. And you can
But they
and
can
them
sing,
hoes
though.
is in
That's
the
the
bed.
thing.
Right. No, are you Beyonce? You're on the side. You're not killing
But both of these can. Both
They
of
can
these
actually
boys
sing.
can
They can both sing.
Miles more than me. However, I
So
do
what?
a fantastic.
You could do a bomb-ass doo-wop.
Or background vocals. I could be a Braxton's sister quickly.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can be Tamar down.
But I think the public appearances are that's where you can start because there are fans around the world who
Right, for
want to
sure.
see you,
especially
and
in
meet
the UK, South Africa.
Listen, start in the States, Bright Eyes.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, they want you here. I mean, when I started doing them, it changed everything. And the best part, and I've told Ru 20 times, if I've told him once, is seeing the love of the show and these kids' faces
For
and
sure.
how you, RuPaul, have changed their lives because
agree.
they've always identified but never knew how to go about doing it, or even the straight little girls who want to be that. It's pretty amazing. So you guys, I'm sure, and there's always bachelorette parties. There's always the boys marrying. There's so many things that you can do for money right now with the brand.
Right. I think t-shirts or even
merch.
The underwear, swimwear, that kind of thing. I think
Pit
that's
crew underwear.
Ru, I've always
Brilliant.
wanted to know though, because whenever we're always working. But for you being who you like, you stand at the forefront of this huge culture. And what the responsibility? They say with great power comes great responsibility. How do you handle that?
You know what? My
Cocaine.
Yeah. And coffee.
Molly's.
And coffee enemas.
Yeah.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah. No. The
Get rid of the
truth
sad cells.
is I have to take care of myself. That is my responsibility, is to stay grounded. And when I say know thyself, that's part of it, is knowing what is really going on, what's really hood, what's really going on with you, Ru. And if I feel, I at this point in my life, it's mainly about sort of driving the machine. I have, my prayer is always this. I'm not a religious person, but I do pray. And my prayer is always, dear God, guide my thoughts, my feelings, and my perceptions. And I've added something new to this prayer. And that's it. That is it. But I've added something new, which is I release all identity to you. I release all identity so that every day I get a chance to not be who I was yesterday. I don't have to carry in any victimhood, any negative ideas that I had about myself, and I could be reborn every single day.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's my
huge.
responsibility.
Yeah.
It's like a do-over every day.
You see it a lot with singing with artists because they start to cater to the fan base instead of doing something organic.
Right.
Doing something that's coming from them. They're looking at what's my next hit.
What's the
What
trend?
are the kids expecting from me?
Right.
Instead of what can I give them
That's organic.
that is real.
Yeah. And sometimes it becomes, it's like a Sunset Boulevard storyline where you're like, madam, you're no longer that, so leave that alone.
A lot of people have a hard time.
Or you
It is
become a
hard.
caricature of yourself.
Yes, sure. So that's where my responsibility is I've got to be interested in what I'm doing.
Yes.
And the way for me to be interested in it is to, I love laughter. I love colors. I love music and movement, and that's where it starts. And if other people get on board with it, I say right on. People ask me about being a role model. I don't give a shit about being a role model. I really don't. If somebody can get something out of my experience, right on.
Yeah.
But that's my objective, isn't to be a role model. My objective is to as to have fun, to stay interested in what I'm doing,
Right.
and that's my responsibility.
I just have to ask this question because. So, do you ever look at yourself in the mirror when you're like in it and be like, God damn it, I look good.
I can't believe I still to this day, I've been doing it forever. I cannot believe that's me. I look at the thing and I go, wow. So that's it?
As long as she don't do her own makeup, she'll look at
Shout out to Matthew Anderson.
Because my grandfather was like, that RuPaul's a fine woman.
Ru's been in many a rap song as a reference.
Yes.
For better or for worse.
Yes. Yeah, Biggie was
talking
about
Biggie,
me in there in his rap song. You know what? No, I have never got. But you know what? To be truthful, I look at pictures of myself out of that and go, wow, is that me?
Yeah.
Because I think we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and these bodies are temporary, and to not take any of it too seriously. Sure. So I have a great time with it. I've made the most out of what I've been given in this lifetime. Yeah. And it won't always be this. Yeah. But I'm just going to do with it what I can.
I think Tweet said it best on her song Oops.
What'd she say?
She said, I was looking so good and I couldn't reject myself.
Yes, Miles Davis Moody. You better quote Tweet. You better quote Tweet. Circa 2002. All will be revealed. That's why we keep him around, ladies and gentlemen. Miles Davis Moody, everybody.
Well, but that's the thing is that I think the
Next
universe
will be quoting Yo-Yo.
I think the universe has those kind of stage directions. Even though it's a pop song, I think there's real truth in that, and that's where you have to gather those places, the wisdom from where you can. Yeah. I think that's the key.
These nuggets.
So we have been talking with the pit crew about what it's like to be a man in your underwear on a show where people are tuning in to see you in your underwear and expecting a certain level of excellence and
thickness
and girth, length, and you both have that to offer.
You both deliver nicely.
Well, thank you.
Like I always tell people, Ru-High professionals. Ru-High professionals.
But but it's always interesting to hear who's behind that Speedo.
Yeah,
the mind behind that Speedo.
And people are constantly always surprised too. Yeah, they're always blown away. Blown
away by what?
By
what exactly are they blown away by?
No, Michelle. She was like, well, I know. She's like, Jason, I know you. There's nothing to be blown away by. She's like, I've seen you since you were a little boy. No, because when you travel and you meet people, it's very hard to try to act like you're a personality. You know how you meet some of the queens on the show, after when you meet them out and out of the show, they act like, well, I'm so and so.
Right.
Well, that's they're getting caught up in the demon.
Yeah. But when people meet you and they're like, oh, you're crazy, or you're like, dude, like, calm down, like you're full out. It's like, well, I'm just giving you me.
Just keep it real.
Keep it 100. One trill, Michelle.
There's no such thing. It's only 100%. So you got to keep it 100.
I'm coining it 1 trill. 1 trillion. There's 1 trillion.
Are you white?
Who cares?
Are you white, boy?
I know people think I am sometimes.
I think people know that. I think people know that you are a fun. I think I could actually, when I'm watching the show, I could see your personalities, both your personalities, in little things, in a movement. Like I said, when you guys do that snatch game thing, where you're presenting the set. It's very funny. And
Jason's
I think
total fun buncher. And Miles is a little quieter.
What?
No, Miles. I've seen Miles be crazy.
I've seen Miles go in.
But you're a freaking Gabtown, and Miles is a little more.
A little bit. Oh yeah. Well, he doesn't shut up. But but that's been kind of some work for me to show people my personality, because they've just seen me mostly on video, not talking. And people that really know me know that I'm like silly, stupid,
so silly,
you're such a sweet
crazy
guy.
But you were straight for the first 30 years of your life. Is that correct?
Were you really?
24.
Till you were 24.
Yeah.
Did you ever have sex
Well, I had a
with
girl.
woman?
Oh yeah, I had a girlfriend
to?
for 6 years. She said I ruined her.
Want to?
So you ruined her for other men. But so what? Tell me.
I bet he
Physically,
did.
you slut.
So I'm not even going to go into that.
So wait a minute. So you knew all along that you were gay?
No, I kind of had little inklings, but I didn't have crushes on boys in
You
high
didn't.
school.
You really
No.
kept it 100, 1 trillion.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, see, good girl. You're catching on,
1
Michelle.
trill.
You learn quick.
So I don't.
I mean, I had glimpses of it. I mean, definitely I was repressing, but
That's what I'm asking. Like, you knew and you were telling yourself, no. You got me saying yeah.
But your body was saying
gay.
Mr. Happy was saying yeah.
Yes.
He was going
But honestly, you must have thought, you must have believed you were straight because you were able to have sex with your girlfriend.
It's kind of like when you see on TV someone has amnesia and then they have little sparks of things coming back to them. I had like little sparks of gayness.
Yeah.
And then I finally like allowed myself to explore it.
Right.
But I didn't grow up like I wasn't like a gay toddler twirling in my
When
pin.
did you come to Los Angeles? So you were 24 when you came out of the closet, but you weren't in the closet when you had your epiphany.
Right.
Yes.
But
Or
you were
his
24.
first Andy at the club.
Okay, I'll take that. 24 then, and then when did you come to Los Angeles? Did you pursue show business in New York?
No.
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 So you came to Los Angeles to pursue show business.
I came actually to LA for a relationship.
Two boys.
And then no, it was I met a guy when I was in New York, and I ended up moving here for that. And that lasted 3 years. But in the course of that, I'm friends with Jennifer Hudson, so she asked me to be the male lead in her video. So I did
What's
that.
the song?
Where You At?
Where you at?
Yeah.
The
it
one
was-
that nobody heard.
Oh no, this was a popular
It
song.
was a popular.
I'm
it's
teasing
popular.
you.
It was written by
like
R.
Ring Up.
Kelly. No,
Yeah.
it was a great song. It was the first single off of
R.
her
Kelly wrote it?
last album.
I remember.
Yeah,
I
he wrote
remember
it.
me.
Yeah.
I remember me. Yeah.
And so you were in this video, and then
I worked with Johnny McGovern for his Dickmatized video.
I love Johnny.
Yeah, and I think Willem saw me from that. So then that kind of got my, I guess,
Right.
showbiz.
your video host.
My
That's
video
it, yeah.
hoe
That's how it
origins
started.
started. Yeah.
and then RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes,
And
yeah.
so now I've predicted what you kids should do from here. What is your plan? What is your plan to do after RuPaul's Drag Race or during, or what is your
Yeah, 'cause
Why
you said
strategy?
you have a 5-year exit strategy. We'd like to hear that,
My
Mr.
coitus
HR.
interruptus?
Yes.
Exit strategy. I do want to do what you were talking about in terms of working what this is now with the pit crew, because I think we could have something, and it is an open lane. And so I want to, it'll be interesting to see where that goes and
Sure.
work that for what it's worth. And then maybe start doing some TV or
Because
and
you also-
some singing.
You
some more
work as a
singing.
casting director on
Yes.
other
Yeah.
shows.
Did you really? So you
Yeah.
can always do that still?
Yeah.
I mean, you can do many things.
You don't like the
could.
casting director?
It's okay for now, but it's not like my passion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
And it should be. But it's always nice to have something in your
Yeah.
head. Like for me, I always know that I can go back into radio.
Right.
Anytime I can go back into radio. So there's always nice to have something that you can always go, well, you know what? I can always
fallback
cast.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah. No, I know that I can always work in an office. I have plenty of skills that way. But in terms of working kind of that entertainment angle, I want to keep doing stuff like this. And
Can you act?
Yeah, I can act.
He acts straight on TV. Just kidding.
Do I?
Yeah. And then for you, Jason, I know that you're hosting. You have a web series that
Yes.
I've seen. What is that called?
It's called Jason Unleashed. I have two. Jason Unleashed is the one I produced with World of Wonder, and then I have the Say What web show, and it's just basically like where we say what you're thinking, but we take it a step further. We talk, Kimye, anything that's trending in pop culture.
Yeah.
We talk about because people like
Did
I
you
said.
just say Kimye?
Well, that was
He did.
That's so
stuff like that. It's so
gross.
trending. But the question was after Drag Race, like Miles said, the Pit Crew is such a fantastic brand, and within the Drag Race brand, I would
Say
love
What
to-
Entertainment? Isn't that
No,
Shangela's?
Say What web show.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, hashtag Say What. That's and just more hosting. I ultimately want to have my own show. I want to be the black Wendy Williams, the male Wendy. She is black. She
is black.
The male Wendy Williams. But I do think that that's what I was. I came to LA to be a dancer.
Yeah.
I did that, and Ru, you said it. Passion for something. I even though just because you're good at something doesn't mean you should do it, and that's what happened with me in dancing. So I just got over it, and then I got into hosting. I was a radio jockey back in my hometown of Albuquerque, and it just felt good. So I want to continue doing
You should
that.
be the
and,
new Donnie Simpson.
yeah, video soul.
You should have an
yes.
elevator and everything.
Oh, with Donnie Simpson.
Sherry, what was her name? Sherry
Shepherd?
Sherry Shepherd.
No, Sherry.
Sherry,
We don't
Sherry
know.
Live in the lesson.
What are we talking about? Which
Video
Sherry?
Soul,
On
BET.
BET.
Video Soul.
Did Seduction
This is
ever
Video
do video?
Soul.
I did it, but we didn't get Donnie Simpson.
He was
we
gone.
We got the fill in.
Well, it was that. Who was that girl? Sherry. Sherry something.
Sherry, but yeah.
No, wasn't it Cherie?
No.
Was it Sherry?
It was Sherry.
Yeah.
Sherry and Donnie. Video
Yeah.
Soul. They gave Brandy her premiere.
Yeah.
Brandy got my first.
Yeah, I
Video
was
Soul.
on that show.
Video Soul?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we got the fill in guy.
Yeah.
And I have to say, for hosting, I've gotten some of my best techniques from watching you because I speak really fast. So
You're kidding.
But I've noticed through that you say
Your word
things
count
with
is-
like a inflection and intonation that is so like, why is he talking so slow? And then you watch on TV, I get it.
Yeah,
there's
you
a
get
there's
it
a
all
build
right.
up. It's like, and today's special guest will be, wait for it, Khloe Kardashian. Everybody, it's just like, oh my god, Khloe Kardashian.
Well, because the human ear, it needs time to ruminate in
Right.
there for you
It
to
does.
actually get what is being said. You know,
Precisely.
I'm watching this show called Open House on NBC, and I love it because they show all these homes around the world.
Let's sidebar this by saying Rue's obsessed with open houses. On days off,
Yeah.
Rue will just go to open
Open
houses.
Are you
houses and
cheating on
homes.
Judge Judy?
No, I still
No.
watch my
Okay.
Judge Judy.
No, never.
But
Baloney.
this television show has the real estate agent hosting the tour of the home
Right.
with cameras, and it drives me crazy because they don't know how to speak on
Right.
camera, and I'll turn the sound off because I cannot take how they're talking.
You just want to see the house.
I just want to see the house.
Shut up and show me the house. Yeah.
But there is a certain technique to understanding how the human ear will listen to things, and you have to. I've learned a lot from Michelle about this. But a lot of times I will take my two fingers like a conductor in an orchestra, and I will pace myself so that it can be heard by the human ear at the right time.
Right. Yeah.
I just did it right
Yeah.
then.
It's kind of like
I
having
see.
a really good nose job. No one really knows
Yes.
unless it's bad.
Right.
Or
Like-
unless
Exactly.
somebody tells you, because I know if it wasn't for our first radio programmer, Frankie Blue at KTU New York City, he pulled me aside and he said, you have the potential to be something huge in radio. You have to slow down your
Right.
speed. You'll get it all out. Slow it down.
I get that all the time.
So important, Jason.
is.
If you learn nothing today, slow it
Told you
down.
not to go to that meth party before this.
that Breaking Bad meth is good, bro.
Just because it's blue doesn't mean it's good for you.
I've learned that, again, like conducting an orchestra, if you do your hand, like I think I learned this from Michelle, actually, you hold your hand and you speak like you're conducting an orchestra. At home, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm holding my fingers
He looks like he's
together.
Italian, going like
Yeah.
When you appear
Yeah.
to this is my listeners. This is my chance to ask Rue all the questions I haven't been able to ask in 4 years.
Yeah.
Clearly.
On the main stage, when you come out for the reveal,
Yeah.
you have a different walk on different shows. Sometimes you have like a Naomi Campbell sachet, and sometimes you give like real.
Yeah.
How do you do? How do you decide? Is it the
Depends on-
dress?
it depends on the outfit. It absolutely depends on the outfit. If I want people to really see it, or how it makes me feel, or what the hair is doing, I change my walk depending on that.
And do you get like a chubby every time you go out because you're like, look at me, I'm amazing.
No, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of the camera. I'm thinking of the guys in the control booth,
Yeah.
the producers, thinking that I am going to wear it out for them. They must be gagging right now.
Yeah, you're like, this is for you.
These children must be living.
Yes.
Because if you go watch Drag Race at the club or whatever, that moment, dun,
Yeah.
like the world stops. And people are like, what? Even though we see a glimpse of in the beginning of the show, we don't even care about that. But it's just like, no way. It's so sickening how sickening the lighting.
Listen, I've known this monster for 150 years, and I can tell you that every single time she steps out of that first moment, it's dark, and then the lights go up, and I just, my whole face.
Chills.
No, I just beam from ear to ear because it makes me so happy to see how gorgeous she
you look.
looks.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a sin.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Well, I'm going to do what Jason's doing since we're interviewing RuPaul now. Has it become a challenge to change up the line, lip sync for your life.
It's gotten way more dramatic.
Yes, no, it's
echo.
this. So yeah, I have gotten way more dramatic, and I know just having seen it in clubs and stuff that the more crazy I can get with it, the better. In fact,
Oh, yeah,
even
the
the
kids
Bring
live.
Back My Girls. My favorite was the one time I said, instead of Bring Back My Girls, I said,
Yes. Everybody cracked up when you
There's
did
so many
that.
times where I'm like, but you know what? The thing about that, Rue, is that you're not. I guess because we know that's you. It's not like you're trying to play a character. It's just like you're.
No, that's
you're-
really what came out. That
Yeah,
wasn't planned.
You know what I mean? I love my favorite one was release the Kraken. And it's that pause. You and Ryan Seacrest have the longest pauses, but it's like how can I don't know.
you anticipate it's
anticipation.
a way
It's
for
Rocky
the-
Horror. Anticipation.
And then the
Yes.
head. You give like
Yes.
that head nod, like
Yeah.
like you just have so many nuances and so many Rue-isms
Yeah.
that I wish that it had a whole show. Forget a clip.
There
show.
are. Look at
we
YouTube.
we need a whole RuPaul Drag Race Rue-ism show.
Well, that's the thing. This has been true with drag and gay culture for years and years. That we have artistic license to sort of snatch a little bit here, a pinch of this, a pinch of that, because it's all parody. It's
Right.
all a way to sort of satire.
An homage.
An
homage,
homage to
yes.
what has come before. So
Yeah.
when you watch our show, you see Mommy Dearest, you
Yes.
see Faye Dunaway, you see Joan Crawford, you get to see Rocky Horror, the movie Grease, Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz, everything I've ever seen.
I loved when you were closing the door and you went cross-eyed.
Yes.
Like Mommy Dearest. That was hilarious.
Well, there isn't, and we do Elvira in there. There isn't a moment that goes by that I don't think of Paris is Burning or Elvira
yeah.
or Grease or Mommy Dearest. Those are the things that I love. So, they're
Yeah.
going to infiltrate the show.
I love seeing you do all that because you do it with such a mastery. When you slapped the girls, that was so good.
Nobody slaps better than Rue.
I'm trying to remember where that comes from because there is a reference to that.
Was it like Dynasty, maybe?
It's
Or-
Dynasty.
Yeah.
It's Dynasty. That's
Yeah.
what it
Of course.
is. It's
Yeah.
Dynasty.
So good. So the look on your face and the delivery of that slap.
Yes.
It's
Well, it's Crystal Carrington and
Yes,
Joan.
it's Joan. Yeah, because
Collins.
I've studied those slaps. Because that slap specifically is Diane Carroll and Joan Collins.
Is that how you say her name?
No,
that's how Rue says.
No,
Okay.
let me tell you the story. Lady Bunny grew up in Tennessee, and she went to school with all these, kids from Tennessee. I'm just only going to leave it at that. And they would always refer to Diane Carroll as Diahan,
Stop.
because her name is spelled uniquely.
Diahan,
Diahan. It's spelled like this. So whenever I
she
can't,
had to get fancy.
Like
She had to get
DNA
fancy.
Warwick, DNA. It's a
Yeah.
DNA.
So whenever I refer to Diane Carroll, and when I've said it to her face, she did not get the joke.
no?
No,
What'd you call me?
No.
Well, she was really old at that
Well,
point.
but she's
a life
not
story, yes.
really that
still
old.
alive?
I mean, you're talking to someone at my age. She's like a spring chicken, But
no, is she alive still?
yeah. Diane Carroll, yeah, she's on Grey's Anatomy, and
Yeah.
she's
Oh,
on
is she?
White
she's-
Collar.
Is she
and
snatched at
she's
this
got her
point?
wig.
Oh,
She was
who
great
isn't?
Grey's
Oh,
Anatomy
yeah.
7 years
For the
ago.
gods?
Who isn't snatched?
For Jesus?
There's little people
With
holding
HD, you got
a face back.
You got to wear cinch that waist.
She was snatched back then, though, wasn't she?
Lotion
No,
up.
she didn't get snatched until much later.
She just has that gorgeous bone
For all
structure.
those listening,
beautiful.
snatch means amazing. What looks
Well,
great.
it could mean a few things.
It can mean several things. And we
you're
just
talking
leave it
about-
at
if
that.
you're talking about your
Let's just
business,
leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think we are going to close out our show now. We've had such a great time.
Nice Kiki.
Yeah.
A
Nice
really
Kiki.
long show.
That's what the kids like, Rue.
Well, you guys have been great.
Thank you, Rue.
Great.
Thank you for all the opportunity. Really,
Yeah.
such a
Oh my
blessing. I'm
God.
so appreciative.
Well,
Thank you.
listen, if there are any opportunities coming down the pike, trust me, I am going to be calling your
Call me.
names.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to more music out of you two.
Thank you. Yes.
And a group that is going to go on tour with the Battle of the Seasons.
That would
Is
be
that what it's
wonderful.
called?
Yeah.
Battle of the Seasons?
Battle of the Seasons tour.
Yeah. All right.
Well, as long as we hire a Joseph Jackson, because I think Jason's gonna need a few beatings.
How about Ike Turner?
To get
Why
his
have
steps
you
right.
Hey, excuse
Get an Ike Turner.
I am Libra/Virgo. I am perfectionist.
Okay. All right. So maybe
You saw my walk and Let's Turn the Night. I was giving you Panther on the runway.
Okay, you did give it. You did. Those titties were
Amazon available.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing much more of you guys. No pun intended. And season whatever is coming up. I don't know.
Season Z.
We're like top models. Cycle 97.
Yes.
Season 7's coming up.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Ruth.
Love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle.
Absolutely.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to
Can
subscribe
I get an
on
amen?
iTunes.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Amen.